Genius Nation, what's going on? It's your man, Dr. Will, and you guys know the deal. Let me know what city, what state, what country you are chiming in from. Even if you're watching this on the replay, let me know what city, what state, what country you are chiming in from. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and hit the subscription button, the notification button, all the things that make the algorithm go pop. Welcome to Daily Insights with Dr. Will. I am Dr. Will. So wherever you are in the world, let me know what city, what state, what country you are chiming in from. I always get fascinated just to know where we are connecting from, literally all around the world. I love technology and its ability to keep us connected to each other. So let me know what city, what state, what country you are chiming in from. I'm here in the beautiful city of Phoenix, Arizona, where God vacations. So wherever you are, let me know. I see VA in the house. I see Phoenix in the house. I see Rwanda in the house. So wherever you guys are coming in from, let me know. So all this week on Daily Insights, I've been talking to you about the pillars of mastery, the pillars of mastery. And these are the four areas, I believe, the critical areas. I see Atlanta in the house. Good morning to you. These are four critical areas. What about now? Can you guys hear me now? Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Can you guys hear me now? Give me thumbs up if you guys can hear me. All right, we back. All right, so I don't even know where I cut off, but today we're going to be talking about relationship mastery. I don't know where the mic cut out. So today we're going to be talking about relationship mastery. And as I told you on yesterday, just like how important time is when we think about relationships, relationships are very critical to our success. When I think about people and how they have excelled in life, and when I think about people, how they have failed in life, it's greatly connected to their relationships. It's greatly connected to their relationships. You know, I have a 20-year-old daughter who is living away from the house now. She is in the Navy, and she is living in Virginia now. And so she's starting to date and things like that. And one of the things, or one of my major concerns was with her selection of not only the people she would date, but also who she hangs out with. Because relationships, once again, are critical. You guys have probably heard birds of a feather flock together. You've probably heard that you're going to be the sum total of the 5 people that you invest the most time with. So I want you to think about that, how critical relationships are. You know, the Bible says it like this: how can two walk together unless they be agreed? But then it also says that if any two would touch and agree as touching anything, that God would do it for them. And so who you decide to partner with in life, whether that's a spouse, whether that's in business, whether that's in friendship, it's going to have an impact on you, whether it be a positive impact or a negative impact. And we've been hearing this since we were little kids. We hear terms like peer pressure. Well, peer pressure doesn't always have to be bad. See, you can hang around some peers that pressure you to be your best. See, I have people in my life and they pressure me, they put the weight on me to be my best, to perform my best, to be the best version of myself. There's a peer pressure because when I look at them and I see how they're dominating and I see how they're using and investing their time and their talents and their treasures, that's pressure on me. That's a good peer pressure. But then I see people and I see who they're hanging out with. And I see that they're going nowhere. And I see that it's going to lead them nowhere. You know, I have a nephew that's in jail right now serving a 25 to life sentence. He was noted as one of the best high school linebackers in California. He had a full ride scholarship, getting ready to change literally the trajectory of his life, of his siblings' life, of his parents' life. And one day he decided to hang out with a group of guys from the neighborhood under the guise of celebrating his scholarship. Hey man, we want to take you out. We want to go hang out with you. We want to go show you a good time. And this night, this fateful night, all of them got involved in something that altered their life for the rest of their life. And so now, instead of getting a college education, instead of possibly playing in the NFL, he's in jail for a long amount of time. And it was all because of who he decided to connect with, who he decided to hang out with. And the same is true for you and I. Listen, at the end of this thing, who you decide to invest your life with on a personal and a professional life, or a personal and a professional life, is going to have a great impact in your life. So I want you to do a relationship inventory, and I just want you to ask yourself, if hanging out with this person, hanging out with this group, hanging out with these people, is it taking me up or is it bringing me down? Is it helping me or is it hindering me? Right? Is it a good peer pressure or is it a bad peer pressure? You know, do you say things like, man, every time I hang out with her, something happened. Or every time I hang out with him, man, something happens. Man, it seems like every time. If you're having those type of conversations with yourself, then you need to take self-responsibility and say, you know what? It's not a good person to hang out with. I remember when I got ready to start transforming my life, I had a real good buddy I used to hang out with all the time. Used to hang out with him all the time. But when I decided to take my life and go a different direction, he wasn't ready at that time to go that direction. And I had to make the difficult choice to sever that relationship so I could focus on where I wanted to get to. And I remember we didn't talk for maybe about 20 years. And when we finally ended up reconnecting, we were at different places in our life and we ended up reconnecting. I remember him telling me, he was like, man, I wish I would have did what you did 20 years ago. I would have been in a better place right now. I wish I would have got focused. I wish I would have got dialed in. I wish I would have got dialed in. But I realized at that time, the activity, you just hanging out, and it wasn't bad. We weren't doing anything bad or anything like that. It just wasn't productive activity. We were playing video games and stuff like that. It just wasn't productive activity. I remember, like, we were back in the barracks, and I remember we would have these. This is gonna date me, but we would have like these Madden tournaments. We call them Madden tournaments, and literally 5 or 6 of us would be in a barracks room, and we would spend 10, 12 hours on what we called this Madden tournament, just playing video games. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to take that time and I'm going to start doing something different. I'm going to start going to school. I'm going to start taking college courses. And so that time that I was using to play video games, I started using that time to work on my degree. And before you knew it, I had bachelor's, I had master's, had a doctorate, and they were still playing video games. It was the same amount of time, I just shifted, and I shifted it because I realized that relationship and how we were investing time wasn't serving me. So when you look at the relationships in your life, you got to ask yourself, are these relationships serving me? Are they serving me? And for some of you, you're going to have to make some hard choices. I remember, once again, when I joined the military and I would go back home, I couldn't hang out with my same homeboys. I couldn't hang out with them because they were doing things that, just as simple. When I was in the military, and this is, back in the 90s, so definitely marijuana was a thing that was frowned upon. From a work standpoint, as a soldier, I couldn't smoke marijuana, and I couldn't even be around people who did that, because if it got into my system and we would have urinalysis tests back then my career would be put in danger. And so I didn't try to go back and say, hey man, y'all got to stop smoking because I can't smoke. Hey man, y'all got to stop smoking because it's going to get into my system. I didn't try to change them. I had to change me. I didn't try to change them. I had to change me. And so I didn't go back and try to set all these regulatory things for them. I had to set boundaries for myself. And so even though these were guys that I grew up with, hung out with, and grew up with, it was no longer, the relationships were no longer serving me who I wanted to be, where I wanted to go, where I wanted to end up. So I had to sever those relationships. So you have to learn relationship mastery. And especially now, I get really excited, man. As I get older, I really embrace getting older, because hopefully I get wiser, and the mistakes that I made and the missteps that I made when I was, in my 20s, I'm not making those mistakes. Like, I know how to select people now. I know how to select good people in my life. Like, I hear people, 30, 40 years old still talking about they're having, relationship issues. Here on Facebook, right? They have a status where you can put complicated. Man, you're too old to be in a relationship that's complicated. You're too old for that. You're too old for that. Either it's a good relationship or it's not a good relationship. But you're too old to be talking about it's complicated. No. You should be at a point right now. I was just telling my daughter this. Find somebody that's going to serve you. If the relationship is not serving you, then it's not the right relationship. So you got to ask yourself, listen, at this point, I'm talking about friendships shouldn't be complicated. Significant others shouldn't be complicated. Like, that shouldn't be a relationship, and complication shouldn't be a compound word for you. Shouldn't be a word for you. Like, and I'm talking, this is not just with significant others, this is with friend, everything. Man, every time we get together, that dude always arguing. Man, every time we get together, she's always messy. Man, if those are your adjectives to identify relationships that you're in, you need to get out those relationships. You need to get out. That's not good relationship mastery. So at this point in my life, like, I'm not fooling with nobody. Like, either you're healthy for me or you toxic. That's it. That's where nobody's in between. Either you're healthy or you toxic. And if you're toxic, then we're not getting along. We're not getting along. With my coaching clients, in my contract, I have literally in my contract, if you become stressful, if you become agitative, if you interrupt my peace and tranquility, this relationship will be terminated. That's in my contract, in my coaching contract. I have that because at this stage in my life, I don't have, that's exactly right, Alana, messy. I don't have no time for mess. So you want to do a inventory, an inventory of the relationships that you have in your life. All right, guys, that's my insight for you today. I hope it helps you. Hope it gives you something to think about. Think about relationship mastery and how it's impacting your life. Either they're helping you or they're hindering you. Either they're pulling you up or they're pulling you down. Either they're healthy or they're toxic. Label it and act accordingly. All right, guys, go out there and be your amazing selves. Go out there and be brilliant. Make an impact in the world today. It doesn't take that much to make someone smile. It doesn't take, I'll share this with you. Just the other day, last night on the way to dinner, some police officers rolled up next to me, and I rolled down my window and they rolled down theirs, and I told them Happy New Year, and I'm wishing them a best year and a bright year. And I know that's going to make an impact on them. It doesn't take much to make an impact, guys. You just got to be intentional about making an impact. So go make somebody smile today. Go be your brilliant selves, and I'll see you right back here in the nation tomorrow. Let's go dominate, nation.